Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of the Astro News Network. Hello, people in chat. I see you already, Spartan, shadowy figure. Mr. Black, hello, hello. As you can see here, I have a new co-anchor, the legend himself, Prince Jordan. He's here with me today. He's going to be helping me out doing some stuff. Try to look like you're not miserable, buddy. I did have him dressed up in a nice little suit, but he super hated it, so I had to take him out of it. That's okay. He's still a good little boy. And even though I'm still being a responsible father with my kiddo, I did still manage to invite a few guests for us today. From OG, we have Blight, who's going to talk with us about OG's second wildly successful op, where they killed more of the allies of their allies. And our second guest will be Recall Champion Belwar, who returns to the ANN to talk about some of Astro Empire's worst GMs over the past few years, and to make a brave challenge for the rest of Antares. And before I go ahead and dive into our Astro Empire's headlines, I'm going to take my quick moment to self-promote at the start of the show today, so I can guilt you with my adorable child. And I would like to thank everyone here that watches and has followed and subscribed. And this is your friendly reminder that if you have Amazon Prime, you receive a free monthly subscription to your favorite streamer on Twitch. Just link your Amazon Prime account and your Twitch account. And this free Twitch Prime subscription is something you can use every month on your favorite streamer. And it really helps support the many creators of the stream, since we've had to hire on extra staff. And if you're not watching live, I do upload these videos to YouTube the next day for old people, and every follow and subscribe helps there too. And yes, I did name him Jordan after my internet name. I'm not egotistical at all. But that's enough self-promotion, and let's just go ahead and start touching on some of today's headlines. The first headline is that OG smashed Lost in A5 45. Which was earlier this week. OG launched to 45. I believe they landed on Tuesday, and they murdered Lost plus Wolf plus Tribes Blob together in 45. And this was another fun example of OG killing the allies of their allies again with no repercussions. OG synced super good, and I think they derbed close to 13 million fleet. I'm going to have Blight on from OG soon as our first guest, and he's going to go into this with a lot more detail. So I'm not going to deep dive into it now. But at the same time that OG launched to 45, Belwar's HC was launching up to 48 to go after Die. And it will shock my viewers to learn that Belwar had to recall from that launch. Very surprising. So on the second headline, Belwar launched. Did he land? No. Next, we're going to talk about the Speed server, which if you've taken a look at the Discord Speed server channel, you'd think a whole lot has happened, but it's really just the same people yelling at each other over and over and over. And it's not that much that's happened yet. It really, jump gates just started. Oh no, don't be sad. No. We haven't talked about Speed server yet. Or do you just hate Speed server that much, buddy? Hold on, bud. Don't be sad. Maybe we'll talk about Speed server in a minute. Buddy, what's wrong? No, you didn't make it for 2 minutes, buddy. Ooh, Alicus impression. Good one. Good zing. Hold on, bud. Let me put you over here. He was getting real upset a few minutes ago. Samantha, he didn't like his suit. He cried and cried, and I had to take him out of it. So he's not wearing his suit. But thank you for checking in on me. Oh, be fine, buddy. But let me bring up our Speed server screen. This usually calms him down. Oh yeah, by the way, our interviews today are pre-recorded because there's no way this little dude was going to sit through them all. Oh, you're fine, little buddy. Oh, you're fine. Tell you what, guys, we're going to talk about the Speed server in a minute. We're going to play Blight's interview first, and then we'll come back to the Speed server, alright, boys? So, throw the schedule out the window. We're going to move it around. Alright, hey guys, I'm here with Blight, OG Blight, also known as Kira from back in the day. How you doing, Blight?
Oh, good, George. Thanks for having me. So, let's start again, I guess, with the history.
Yes, we're going to go right into the history that everyone gets asked. We always shoot for a brief history, but it never goes that way, but we'll see how it goes.
I'll try to go super short because I'm way old school. Like Infamous calls me a boomer. Started first server back in alpha when that was like the only server out there. Just like you, I clicked on the banner, got there, got into it fast. Like I recall Queen Christine was like the first in the server, but I quickly showed it to all the guys in school. Back in the high school, they started logging from same IP. I got banned. Next server, beta. What I recall from there, like Rage versus Goon, the famous Rage, are you prepared videos, and the response was blob wars there. Next, SETI was with Settlers, allied to Heiho, which is also Cloak, the old Cloak, his first, I guess, big guild there. Like also major blob wars with 13th. Moving on, Delta played with like a bunch of Russian guys there, since I'm from Russia as well. Fucked some goons there. Moving along, Epsilon, my favorite server, started with, I don't know, maybe some people will recall Lone Shogun there. I was his second, and then we had Oracle, who also became, I guess, like really famous Oracle. Hooked up with Lily later on. You got nothing to say to that?
I don't know who Lily is. I have no idea who Lily is.
The Oracle, he joined Tiger Lily in Triple V, and they met in real life and they married. I mean, that's like famous love story of Astro Empire. So
oh, you mean Lubu and Mika? Or are these different two different people?
Yeah, well, back in the day, it was like he was just the third guy with us, and together in Sperms. That was the guild name.
Mm-hmm.
Epsilon. We fought Evil Rain, then we fought Clock, then we joined Evil Rain, and lots of fun there.
Yep, I remember Evil Rain. I played with him for a bit on Gamma.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah, that's. I think we will get to that. I think next was Phoenix. I think we rolled there with Evo, and that failed pretty fast in the beginning. I think Vikings just annihilated us early on in the server. So that was that. And then in Gamma, it was Oi, right? You were there with us?
I was not in Oi. I played in the 20s. It was like later in the server after the Smash did I join with Evil Rain.
Oi, that's also, I think, where I met Alicus for the first time. He was in Joker in the lowers against us. I think we had intel before the server that he's gonna play against us. So I just got like into his guild recruitment, and he got me into his guild. And
oh no!
I planted my real life friend into his guild from the start, and he was like top account there, and he was like bragging to everyone about him like Water Dragon. And when we came to crash him, right, they had a plan how to take us out, but my friend, he went by the name Lelouch, he suicided into Water Dragon, and all their plans just went to hell. We won that crash. And since then, suddenly we're best friends with Alicus because he's a cool guy. He doesn't take offense.
Yeah. So, yeah, great way to meet Alicus. I'm sure he hasn't forgotten about it. I'm sure he loves it.
No. We poke each other about that still. But yeah, that was like 2009, and I think I just quit. I came back. I took a look at 1.5 at some point, didn't stick around. Now coronavirus, everyone's stuck at home.
Yep.
Alicus messaged me like, "Hey, we're going new guild, blah blah blah." I was like, "Come on, man! I was in high school playing this game. Fuck it now." And like 3 days later, I messaged him. Yep.
So how many years had you been?
It was 10 years. I was away, I think. So
sorry, I'm retarded. I stepped on my headphone and plugged it out. So how many years had you been taking a break from this? Sorry.
10 years.
10 years. Good God. But yeah, it's like riding a bike. It's different, but it's not that different. I'm sure you picked it right back up real nice and easy.
I feel like conservative being like, oh, the guys are building on this now? How back in my day, we were not building on this, and we were not building these type of fleets. What's going on, guys?
All right, so yeah, let's get to the bread and butter. Let's get into the OG op into 45. You guys super smashed Lost, and I don't know. It's almost like you super snuck up on them. You launched like a super good sync, made a bunch of profit on it. Let's just talk about how everything great on the op that went for you guys.
Since the launch that we had on China, we fixed some mistakes. We did not go with 12 hours detection now. We went for like 5 to 6 max. And I think we only had one fleet who was like 7 hours detection. So that actually played into our favor because when they saw like a bunch of fleets, they thought we have like 8 million coming. So they decided to blob against us. That was probably their second mistake there. Should have known more is going to come. The second thing, they had like 3 guilds there, right? Wolf, Lost, and some other sub guilds.
Yeah, those 3. Yeah, because the big one was Lost, but then there was the smaller Wolf, and then the even smaller. I think it's called Tribe. I don't even know.
Yeah, Tribe. So we did not launch with the whole guild. It was like a stealth op. We were just planning to get there, smash their mini blocks, hit some bases and get out. But so like 30-40% of the guild was present for this. Once we landed, we regrouped and synced almost 12 million for 7 seconds there.
How much fleet did you guys bring in total into 45?
We had some stagnating ones coming to farm bases, so I think it was 16 to 17 in total. Okay. But the first landers, everyone was active except our top fleet, Hey Saidar. Saidar could not make it to the lunch, but everybody else could.
Got to make sure to call your boys out.
Yeah, it's all good. He had the same spec as me, so I got to hit more stuff and more glory for me, right?
Right.
So there was this wolf guy in Alicus. He was trying to play the guilds. He was trying to get some couple of million of wolf guys away, but they told him like, "Bring it on, big boy. Come, we're gonna stay and fight."
Yeah,
and
good old Megadeth.
That Megadeth. 5 hours later, I'm sure Alicus already showed it to everyone.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I surrender. Yeah. So okay, we shot down, and I checked the stats before this. I came prepared. We shot 14 million there. We lost about 8.4. The ratios was about 1.7-ish. Next time we'll do better. And yeah, we made some profit. We made 8.65 million debris. Or apparently first profitable crash in the server, according to us.
Yeah, according to you guys. Yeah, OPA did go up and make profit off Japan a few weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, you guys got second place. You can still be happy. But you had a bigger crash. You definitely had more going on.
Crash.
Yeah, you had a bigger pile.
We can cut this off, and then we're just gonna say.
Oh yeah, I realize I always say OPA. I always say for that op, it's like just OPA. Like almost everyone from the 20s went up there. It wasn't just OPA. I don't want to get UCorp all riled up. We're
just gonna say that you're biased because you're an OPA. So that's why you're trying to undermine our.
That is completely untrue. Completely untrue. False on every count. So you guys, which day of the week did you guys launch up there? I forgot what day it was. Was it like it was early in the week? I remember that.
We launched weekend.
Oh, like what time did you land? Did you land? It looks like it might have been Tuesday. Looking at the guild total counts.
It was 9 or 10 p.m. server time.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's get to the best part. I think I was the MVP of the crash. I destroyed almost 1.3 million fleet with my cruisers. I lost 584,000.
You guys didn't bring any dreadnoughts up?
We did. We trailed them a bit behind with Alicus and Spartan. Spartan switched to names with the Fool to confuse those guys, I guess.
And I'm sure they got confused.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't switch my names, and a heavy cruiser stack crashed into my cruisers. Gave me a good ratio. Thanks, Lost Hero.
Because didn't you guys blow up a bigger blob than they had more fleet on their target than what you guys launched at?
They moved, some recyclers away and stuff, so that made us a bit larger, but it's still basically 1-on-1 ratio launch. We didn't launch with the whole guild, just 30-40%. We're just looking to make some profit and have some fun.
Yeah,
not
you
looking
sure
to
did.
swarm anyone.
Yeah, and you sure did. You've dealt another huge blow to the 40s. The 40s are just the terrible cluster, just getting beat down every week by a different
We
guild.
just rearrange stuff. We're looking to repair the damage. I think we made some friends in the process, and I'm sure the 40s are going to be better off now with our guidance than they were before.
Yeah, so, also, wasn't Belwar launching up to the 40s at the same time?
Yeah, I think he was going for
I believe it's going
the
after
die.
DYE, yeah.
Yeah, in DYE I have some friends, and when I mean friends, I mean tablespoons who we forced to relocate basically.
Yeah.
I actually joined with them in the 34 because I thought Alicus has 33 secured, and I was starting like 3 days later, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna infiltrate some guild in 34. And then when you come there, I'm gonna switch over and we're gonna kick their ass. But what happened in 33 didn't allow Alicus to come.
Well, I wanted to
And
ask more about Belwar. Were you part of Alicus telling Belwar to just get the hell out of the 40s or he'll kill him?
no, I think they were just doing their own thing. They're going for the die, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm not really into politics in the 40s, but Lost is like fighting die. So Lost was making like announcements saying, let's put as much fleet as we can in the jump gate. Alicus does not have enough fleet to take us on. Die cannot come because Belwar is launching on them in the 40s. So, they were pretty confident to begin with that we cannot take them.
Yep, and yeah, unfortunately, once again, Belwar, he had to recall another launch. It's very sad to see it. No one could have predicted.
I don't follow a lot of new guys. I'm sure a lot of things happened in 10 years I was not playing. Like lots of, there's like New Cloak.
No,
and
you're wrong.
Belwars.
Nothing has changed. Everyone still hates each other. The same people still play together. Nothing is different, dude. It's all the same.
Well, Old Cloak, he was a twat, right? Even though he was a good player, he was a good leader, he was a twat. I think the New Cloak is nice.
Well, the New Cloak is nice. The Old Cloak, like he was a jerk to his players. Like on Mira, he made War Legend, and his guild just like revolted on him because they're like, we're not playing for this dick. So, and that was the last we saw of Old Cloak.
Yeah, I think Alicus tried to bait him, like when he put the WL as a guild name. My guess, he tried to bait him to come back.
I bet he
Probably
did.
He did not. I don't know if you guys in OPA, you guys made a bigger hit, but like the first hit that I made in this crash, it took out one shot 660k.
I mean, technically, we had way better ratios because the 20s only used up like I don't know, like 1 million or so fleet, and Japan lost 10 million fleet due to mostly deletions. So really, those ratios are even better.
I know. That's like different type of ratios.
I mean, it's definitely less profitable because they disappeared.
It's fine. I mean,
you guys have had the biggest crash on the server by far, though, for sure. That's undebatable.
We'll make more profits. Like I have Armor 25 coming up in a day, so soon I'll queue more and more. Keep on making hits and have fun.
You guys are in a great position in the 30s where you guys just get to keep eating the allies of your other allies.
Well, you gotta give Alicus credit, whatever he does, and it works.
I'm not going to be too surprised because the upper 30s, they're going to just let you eat those weaker allies. It doesn't matter. Then Alicus is smart enough to know that. So he gets you guys the easy food, get you guys fed, get you strong accounts, which is a great way to win the game.
I mean, let's not win anything yet. I mean, every server that we've won in the past, I quit because it was just war fest. I mean, winning servers, it just kills servers. How about we just play, fight, enjoy, win, lose, and
I didn't mean win the entire server. I just meant to win whatever you're currently working on. I wasn't zooming out that far.
I'm not sure if we have like super long-term plans. I think the way that 30s are, we watch each other's back. We make sure that nobody, from the other clusters stabs us. In a way, surprises us.
Yeah.
And then we try to have fun. When there's an opening, you see something, you try to launch there.
I wonder when Alicus is going to try to launch at USSR again. I wonder when he's going to do that. Because that was his big thing, like just a week ago before he took you guys up to the 40s. He tried sneaking you after China. And then Trace made him mad. So I think, if I had to guess, that's where you guys might be headed again next. But actually, no,
Maybe.
because it's still really hard to launch on the teens because there's so much fleet there. I wonder if you're just going to jump at the somewhere at the zeros, either a Balor or Cancer Crew, because those are still people you could probably launch at. They're not doing anything.
Let's sim some fleet. I mean, we all got new bases,
Yeah.
and we're recovering. To be able to crash successfully, you have to have at least similar sized fleets.
So you're going to take a break for a week or so?
Yeah, a couple of weeks we'll sim, and then we'll see. Or maybe we'll launch the other part of the guild, which it did not launch, to the 40s. So don't be surprised if you'll see us on the scanners landing in 5
I
hours.
wonder if the 30s plus 10s are going to try to launch on the 20s again. We'll see if they don't try to rope you into that again.
Well, again, from what I've seen, I mean, we're not like just getting into one big blob with a bunch of guilds and launching somewhere.
Yeah, you
Like,
guys
couple
have
of guilds
definitely
max.
not done that yet.
As long as there's some balance in the server, nobody's always winning something, then it should maybe Antares is going to be the new alpha. It's
who
going
knows?
to live
Yeah, because like
for
you
the next
mentioned,
10 years.
Yeah, you mentioned the word like balance and server balance. Yeah, that has been thrown out the window for years and years. Most people don't care about that, so it's nice to hear when somebody does.
Just to rewind some time back, like if you go back to new first servers, they were easy. Like when you started as a noob, nobody used to farm you. That was until SETI. When you started in SETI and you were a noob, you were farmed. But before that, it was super easy. And even back in Epsilon, I mean, you still had people just spamming, like in beta, for example, Rage. That's how we started Sperm. We just like, hey, new server is coming, join like this galaxy, and then you'd get spontaneous guilds spawning and like no alliances. It was chaos, and that was nice.
Not anymore though. The game is too figured out now. It's and unfortunately got figured out, and it turns out the easiest way to win is super boring.
Maybe some more updates from Wizard. Some more balances. Like 50 players, it's pretty cool per guild. Maybe more balancing will come, and we'll all stick around.
Yeah, because all those people like you that came back after a decade away, and we'll see how long you guys come back. Maybe you'll be back for 10 years to make up for all the time you lost.
Or maybe they'll find finally the vaccine for coronavirus. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, yeah, fuck it.
Wizard is in the labs like sabotaging their experiments.
He should make an app. Screw him. For all those years, he did nothing.
Oh,
now the mobile game
there is an app for Astro Empires, but it's not in either store. Like you have to download it like from astroempires.com and have some like unregistered app on your phone when all these things pop up when you try to use it. It's like, are you sure you want to use this app? It's not licensed from the store. It's going to be viruses. But there isn't technically an Astro app.
In some stores.
I know, so people would freaking see it, but I don't know. I guess maybe that costs money or something. I don't know.
If you don't have steady income of players, you're never gonna have like servers that keep going. Because for somebody to have fun, somebody has to lose. If somebody's losing, somebody's quitting.
Yep.
And then you'll get servers dying eventually. You just have to have more people incoming for this to be alive.
Yeah, new people, a group of new people coming to this game. It's been a while since that's happened, but maybe you just got to get the game back out there somehow.
Like back in the days, the Goons, they had like 4 or 5 guilds in beta, just from awful servers. Like, what was the forum name?
Something awful.
Those guys are still playing somewhere in Eve and having fun.
Yeah, they're playing Eve instead because that's like a more fun Astro Empires with things to do. But I guess I'm running out of questions for you. We've gone up and down about the op and OG's future for the server. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about yourself, Antares, OG? Any message for Alicus? Anything like that?
Yeah, I did want to give a shout out. That's really for like somebody special, somebody who's been supporting me for a long time, and somebody who I cannot like play this game without. That's Hash's mom. Hash's mom, thank you. I love you. Regards.
I can tell that was really from the heart. It was so detailed and personal for Hash's mom. Wow. Yeah. You can tell that was a deep relationship. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Blight. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you around the server.
Yep. See ya. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. that is the end of the Blight interview. Thanks so much for sticking around through that. I have a relatively calm baby now, so I might be able to talk about the speed server. We'll see if he lets me do it. So it's been really hard to actually figure out what's been happening on the speed server because everyone is just yelling and shouting at each other on the Discord. It's impossible to figure out what's actually happening. However, Ben kind of gave me a breakdown on what's actually happening because before Ben, I had figured out that everyone is pacted but doesn't have any pacts, and people are all zerging, not getting zerged at the same time, and every guild wanted a contest, and then all the guilds dodged the contested start. So, a little bit of mixed messages there. However, Ben set me straight on what's happening here. And one of the top coalitions, there's Alicus's Not Zerg, where his guild is Zoo, and they have a pact with Eclipse. But technically, this pact doesn't matter because Alicus and Celeste say it doesn't count. So it's technically not a pact. They're technically not a Zerg because people said something. Then we have Rethok's actual Zerg, where his guild Tribe is also pacted with Left 4 Dead. And Re is a cheater and generally awful, so they're probably the villains of the server. Let's see, they also have in 04 Scott's Guild Research Labs. And RLS Scott's Guild, this is his potential redemptive story arc. Oh, thank you so much for the subscription, WarBB. Appreciate it. And Scott's Guild are the potential heroes of the server in this universe of evil. But right now they're just simming, so maybe he will turn into like a rat down the road. We'll see what happens. In Galaxy 7, we have Meow's Zergiest Zerg. His guild Slack in Zoom 2. Meow's guild would be the actual villains if it wasn't for Rethok, because also it's expected that their guilds are just probably not going to do anything all server. And one of their two guilds GMs, White Top, just completely quit Astro this week. So I'm sure that's going to set them farther down the path of doing nothing for the next 3 weeks. We have some randoms chilling in 05. Guild Error. Who? In Galaxy 09, they are refugees from 01, the guild Novel. Also who? And then there's apparently a guild in 00. Coca Cartel. Triple who? And that's the speed server. There hasn't actually been a whole lot of crazy shit that's happened in-game yet. Jumpgate just came up, so hopefully eventful things will start happening soon over the next week. What do you mean? What, there's like a couple base hits? Who gives a shit? I don't care about like 4 base hits. Not important. Didn't witness the birth of a dragon. Celeste has been calling Alicus the dragon since before Speed Server. It's not a new meme. That's an old meme. Not my fault you're not up to date, Southie and Ree. Goodness. Yeah, we're skipping the rankings this week because I can just pull up a picture of last week's rankings and it's basically identical to what this week's was. So they're getting skipped. Goodbye, rankings. Too bad. And really, that's all for our headlines. Because I pre-recorded a lot for this because I had this little baby still sitting on my lap. And other than that, we're going to get into Belwar's interview up next. So we don't need a break. We're going to go right ahead. Rethok. Oh, God, for God's sakes. You speed server mongrels. No. Nothing has happened on your speed server yet. Be gone. We're going to talk to Belwar. Goodbye. All right, hello, everyone. I've got Belwar here returning to the show. Hello, Belwar. You can say hello to everyone.
Hey, everybody.
All right, Belwar's here. We're going to real quick talk about his little trip to A48 that didn't go so hot. And then we're going to talk about this lovely, intricate, detailed photo that I have up on the screen here. So let's go real quick. Let's talk about that out, Belwar.
Yeah, sure. I feel like this image really fits to what ended up happening in the 40s. Just a little disclaimer, right? I did not draw this. So this was my wife. I gave her certain criteria, and then she kind of went what she thought would work. So if you don't like something, I like it. So
I say you're going to say if someone doesn't like it to blame your wife. I'm not sure that's the right play.
True. She's listening, so I'll take that back.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I mean, it started out right. So Trek was having their trouble with DYE, right? OPA once again did it's really the same thing. Went up there to 40,
Same
surprised
trick
him.
twice in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. So, caused a recall. I don't know how this happens to Japan and Trek, but it happened again. They disbanded what, like 5 mils, 9 mil.
I think it was close to 5 mil, something like that.
5 mil. And so I'm in a chat with the Trek GM. He's just like, "Hey, who can help?" I'm like, I guess I can." No one else says anything. None of the 30s. And just like, I'll do it. Sure, might as well. You have gates. My guys are bored. We'll go up there, right? So we launched. Horrible sync, and I mean horrible. We only had, I think it was like 8 mil in the first. I think it was like first 2 minutes. So 8 mil in the first 2 minutes. Total of 18 mil. So that's 10 mil that were late, right? And as the time gets closer, it's 24 hours beforehand. I get a message from Trek and Star saying, "Oh, OG's coming to 45." I'm like, "Well, OG's your ally, right, of the 30s, so they must have answered." I messaged Alicus. That is not the case. So he was just like, "Yeah, I found out with my super secret spy network that you're going to 48, and I came to make you recall and hit die myself." I'm like, "Oh, well, so
well, fun."
Yeah,
Surprise.
fun. My 8 mil might have not beat die. For sure, it would not beat OG. So I think my quote in this on the picture, "This shit ain't worth it," embrace Recall King, really fits my feeling during that time.
Because just to be clear, was this the first time you've had to recall a launch the server?
There have been a couple, and sadly, it seems it's mostly on my supposed to be secret shotgun launches, right? So my launch to 09 with Reddy and myself to try and catch the 8 mil, I think maybe it was 6 mil go, or they were, who were they at the time? BB?
Yeah.
And then, I think it was like 12 hours before I checked the gates. SF had 8 mil. Go had 8 mil. We had a total of 12 mil. I'm like, geez, okay. Time to recall. And then this one, it's at least we're doing the shotguns. It's just,
Yep, no launches between that first one and this one. Yep, did so. Yeah, this was only the second one, because I know you did get to land in the 40s, and you did get to briefly land in the 20s.
There was one other recall to 09, but that was just a straight up launch, and we just did not get the participation numbers that we wished from WP and Reddy. So SF and Go were able to bring enough.
You should have brought VVV or USSR. They're not doing anything. Next time, bring them.
That's true, but VVV, I'll just be honest, straight up, I do not have very good communication with them. So as far as I know, they're just going to chill in 15, 16, and 17 until someone invades them. So so we'll see, because I don't think anyone in the teens is reaching out to them actively and saying, "Hey, you want to come with us?"
It could be.
I think, I don't know about you, Jordash, but the best part of partnerships are when there's a communication barrier, right? That works out well.
I'm not sure if that's like confirmed. That might be debatable. I could maybe argue that being able to communicate with a guild you're pacted to could potentially help that alliance.
Okay, we'll maybe put a poll up someday just to see. Yeah,
of course. All right. So also, that was the op. It didn't go great, but also, to go back on top of this picture, I think you have here. You had a challenge that you wanted to lay down. Let's hear about that challenge.
Yeah, sure. So when when I found out that Alicus was, well, this was actually before the launch. I wanted to do this on the previous announcement, ANN, just because, Alicus is one of those players that.
What do you mean those players? We had to kick a guy out of the Discord for saying stuff like that before.
Sorry, for GM, when he did his interview with you, he openly stated that he places Suiciders into guilds and it was a legit strat. I just don't agree with that. I think a Suicider can be a strat, spies, all that fun stuff, but I think it ruins the game for all those people that put in so much time and just want to have a crash, right? And they look at it and they're like, oh my God, numbers are great. It's going to be close. Then Suiciders come in, clear it out, right? And then it's just a wash.
I also hate Suiciders. Always have, always will.
So as soon as you said that, I was like, you know what? My guys, I think, could take his guys one-on-one anytime. So I wanted to get on and do an official challenge to Alicus. This was before his crash. So it kind of might take a back seat now while they rebuild and, digest their derbs. But basically, I was thinking, now this is the first time Jordash has heard this, but I would like to have Alicus launch his guild and mine at a base of an unbiased party, which would be Jordash in the 20s.
I mean, no one can I can do it, but I might be secretly biased.
No one can launch early, of course. Neither of us have relations with OPA or UCorp, so I'm hoping that they would respect our pile, because Mr. Black in Utopia, right? He had the chance to go through the wormhole and take that big pile with RD, but he didn't. So I think that if Alicus is down for it when the time comes, it could be a fun way just to see whose team is better.
Yeah, kind of like that on Gaia. Do you remember on Gaia when we launched through the wormhole, like the zeros against the 10s and 20s, and we did that together? So kind of like that, you'd all just sync together.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. I was looking through the forums for what's coming up, right, to look for different names to ring a bell, and I saw that conversation with Compulse, and that gave me the idea.
I mean, sounds potentially fun, and I think you've been very gentlemanly about it, because you've acknowledged that OG just had a crash, so they wouldn't be ready yet, but in the future you'd be open to this avenue. I like this challenge. I think it sounds very fair. Maybe one day it could happen, and we'll remind Alicus of that as much as possible in the Discord. And every time he doesn't immediately want to do it, we can say that he's being a coward and doesn't want to do it. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, fun challenge. I knew you said you had a challenge, but yeah, that's actually a good one. It's not an awful challenge. So, but the other half of what we want to talk about today, the big thing is we wanted to do a Mr. Black style of GM reviews. However, against not current GMs, but just some of the perennial not good GMs. Just take it the complete other direction. So I've got everything up on the screen here. It's all hidden here.
Okay, cool. So let me go to it too.
All right, you got it pulled up. And I'm gonna reveal the first name on the list and all their scores. And I'm gonna
there we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Sure. So, I mean, for this one, I was thinking to determine this, right? It's really like the worst GMs, as in who is always fun to start on at server start, who always brings enough people to feed your members, but at the same time give no long-term challenge, right? So, I mean, first on the list is Cougar Mommy. I had, what server was that when
You played with Cougar Mommy in the 30s on Typhon
Okay.
against against like the edgy kids like Sean and Snaz and Scott, that group.
Yes, that was probably where they were in the. So originally, I want to say they were supposed to be somewhat allied with us, but when they realized that Cougar Mommy was in the mid clusters and pacted, they were like, we like to have our allies actually pull their weight, so we're going to eat them, and we would appreciate if you guys sit out of it." So we did that, right? And they demolished Cougar Mama, as well as I want to say they also had Star and whatever guild he was running come to try to help Cougar Mama, and they demolished him. So
and then you came up and we were at a fleet and it got worse.
Yeah. It was just that. I mean, that was fun though. There's just so much drama.
It was a fun wackadoo cluster because they just didn't care about anything and wanted to burn it all down.
It's a different mindset now, right? You know that in the long term you're not going to be competitive, but you're just going to have fun eating the things that you can eat along the way until you get invaded by someone bigger. And there's always going to be someone bigger, right? With the current Zerg strategy, right? If you're not as good as someone, you're going to bring more numbers of possibly better players to overwhelm them, right?
And you don't have. I would say you don't have to always win all the time. Sometimes the debris pile, the true debris pile, are the friends you make along the way. And I think they really take that.
Hey, that is a great quote. That's that's a good famous quote. That should be put on the best GMs list.
Oh goodness! So, that was a fun Typhon experience. You have a famous quote for Cougar Mommy. "I will give you gates." Where did this quote come from?
All I can think of is I feel like when Cougar Mama gets, I'm sorry, I keep saying Mama. It's Mommy. When Cougar Mommy gets beat in her cluster, what does she do? She always just says, "I'm just going to build gates. I'm just going to let whoever wants come in, use those gates for later," right? So, Utopia, right? Utopia, Cougar Mommy was with Baylor, and Baylor ended up eating him, right?
ATL. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's just every server, someone allies Cougar Mommy, finds out later that, you know what, my players just want food, and boom, there you go, right?
So really, this isn't Cougar Mommy's fault. It's just her getting constantly stabbed. She might be on the best GM's list if she wasn't being constantly betrayed.
And maybe, but I guess we won't know for a while, right?
Yeah.
And so for the guild, so would you ever start on? I would say 9. Like I said, Cougar Mommy brings in a great amount of players. She would feed 1 guild, 2 guilds, good sized guilds. And so I would be perfectly fine starting on Cougar Mommy. Guild management skills, I feel like it's very, laissez-faire, where you just do whatever you want. Maybe some launch orders, or if somebody comes at you, you just kind of suicide on the blob, right? That's my view of the guild management and fleet management for Cougar Mommy.
Yep, I think these are accurate and fair scores. Are you ready to move on to the next contender on your GM's list?
Sure.
All right, I see Gothmog. I'm sure that is short for Gothmog Balrog.
Yes, it is. You're right. This one's pretty fresh, right? Because I've experienced Gothmog for this server on. He was in 15 and 14, and so at first, he comes across with the, "I'm gonna just accept all these new players and I'm gonna save them from ASAE," but I think something is just lost along the way. It's a great impression, right? I mean, it's a great idea, but I think it comes down to the guild management that might be hurting the players in the long run. I think what we need to do is let new players in more competitive guilds, right? It's a sad thing, but I put Gothmog's guild management skills of 1.
Oof, Jesus.
That's just from this server, first impressions, and from the guys that, like I said, I took in randoms from 15. So people that were in Gothmog's place. Gothmog would post announcements all the time about proper defenses, proper econ, but he just wouldn't enforce it. So what would happen would be, when we came in, we would hit guys that had no base defenses and high econ, no fleet and high econ. So his better players just got fed up with it and came and joined me.
I did not know that part. Now, I played with Gothmog a little bit, like when he first came back to the game in Frontier. I bumped into him there. He actually has an account in my guild on Elysium. He still has an account there. At Gothmog, yeah. This is a lot of slander from Gothmog towards Gothmog, because I think he's a very nice guy.
No, you're right. He is a nice guy. I would enjoy playing with him. He does a great job as a gate, I think, sometimes. I think it's him. Did he run gates for you one time?
No, he filled an account that was open.
Oh, okay. You're right. Now I'll do another disclaimer. This is not based on their personality. Kathy's great. Gothmog's great. They're all fantastic people to talk to and to have conversations with, but I just feel like maybe their message as a GM is lost.
I think I can understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gothmog, I love you. I'm sorry if you take this the wrong way, okay? Don't do it. Don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah, but I see he has a much lower would you ever start on score of 5.
Mm-hmm. And that is just because he brings less players that would be able to build their econ up high enough where they would be good farms, you know? If you look at Dev right now, there are so many people that, we can't hit. And so that's why I would, if I had to choose between Cougar Mommy and Gothmog, I would go with Cougar Mommy.
All right, that makes sense. And fleet management skills 3, I mean, I don't know if I've seen him in a crash either, so I can't speak to that on fleet management skills.
And you're right. On these fleet management, it's really just based off the opinion of the announcements and the conversations given from the players that have recently been under Gothmog.
Gotcha. All right, so I guess in his famous quote, "I'll save you from ASAE," is that part of his recruitment message to just be anything better than ASAE, which is still true?
It is, and he is better. You'll see. No spoilers, so I won't say anything.
I don't know what ASE related could possibly be on this list. I hope we don't spoil it. All right, but I think we're ready to move on to the next name on the list, which, if you're an old player, I'm sure you recognize him, Silver Knight.
Yeah.
Which I like Silver Knight too. He's a Facebook friend. He's that good of a friend.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He is a great player, great guy. On the old servers, somehow he would always start in my galaxy. So that's why this list is pretty much people that I've only ever interacted with. So if anyone listening has someone else they run in to every server and want to put on this list, I mean, say it when you come on to talk with Jordash, right? Keep adding on this. I think it would get some excitement out of it. But I'm sorry, I digressed. Silver Knight, right? I put him as would you ever start on. 8 out of 10. That he brings in the right amount of players, the right amount of skill level, right? Where it's a challenge for a little bit. That they give you some, they're active, they have fleet, they have econ, but with the guild management score and the fleet management score, it's just lower than a top tier GM. So he ends up being just a not the top GM of the server. He will end up pacting with whoever beats him, right? Or if they end up not pacting, then he runs to another cluster and ends up giving gates to people.
I'm pretty sure that Silver Knight has ended up in the GM of one of my guilds that I have quit after disaster. I know that has happened before, just because it was just like, you get it. But Silver Knight is like the best soldier you could ever hope for in a guild. He's always the guy that will jump on the grenade to save the rest of the team. He will make those unprofitable hits on bases in your galaxy every time. He's the first one to do it. He's all about it.
That's we do need more players like that. I think you're right, and I think that ties in perfectly, Jordash, to my famous quote. I was trying to think. I was like, what really would emphasize? Like, if you heard this, what would make you think of Silver Knight? And to me, it's, I'm really just a vice GM. I'm not a GM. I will do whatever my real GM wants, right? And I'm going to do it perfectly. I'm going to sacrifice myself for the guild. I'm going to build gates. I'm going to just be subservient to someone else, right?
In that way, I think that is definitely accurate. Yeah, he's someone you want on your team for sure, but you might not want him to be the captain, the actual captain. But yeah, superb teammate.
I hope he listens to this. I mean, he used to be on all the servers, but I can't think of the last server he was on, right? And I hope he hears this and maybe comes back for next server just to prove me wrong and have some fun with other crews.
Yeah, I'll ping him on Facebook. I'll see if he's still on there, because he used to be on my feed all the time. So maybe he's not. I don't. But now that I think about it, I haven't seen him posting for a while, so I'll check him out. But all right, let's see. Next on the list, I know there's a lot of people in chat that are going to agree with this one. The name of Traveler, constant guild names of Voodoo or IQ. He loves both of those.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And my first experience with Traveler was when I restarted in the 50s of Quantum, I want to say, where he ended up facing him, ended up beating him, and then I accepted him as, what an idiot move, right? I really was not active. I gave him a co-GM spot. Does anyone do co-GMs anymore? I don't know what I was thinking, right? Why have two GMs? But yeah, that's what I did, and I went inactive for a vacation, and I came back, and he had told the entire cluster that I was a Baylor multi, and everyone jumped ship and joined his guild he started.
Yeah. So which server was this on?
I think it was Quantum.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Quantum, and then I told Baylor about it because, yes, at the time I was in the royal family. I did want to make the cluster pro Baylor, and so when Traveler did that, then Baylor just came in and ate the guild, and they never became relevant, right? And I think that really just sums up, as you said, Traveler's guilds, right? His leadership.
Because I think you worked with him again on Gaia as well. He was in the 20s, and I think you guys were in the teens.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. He came back for a little bit, but then shocker, something happened and he ended up quitting. Ever since the first time I met him, where he was really active and he stayed, every other time I see him, he comes in late, or he can't, at the start, and he plays for maybe a month and then just disappears, right?
Yeah, he usually
Um,
doesn't play for too long of too long term of a time. I haven't had any bad experiences with Traveler. I like There's a lot of people on this list that I personally like, but I've had good experiences with Traveler. I know Cancer Crew, they hate him for some server. Uh, I hear you've had bad experience with him before on Gaia when he went to quit. He quit Voodoo on there. Like he said, I was quitting. I'll just give GM to whoever. Like I was like almost the first person to answer him, so I almost got control of Voodoo and could have become GM, which would have been great because considering I was in Mayu in the zeros, and that would have been fun. But alas, that plan couldn't come to fruition. I wanted it so bad though.
that would have been interesting.
Yep, and yeah, would you ever start on only a 4 for him?
Yeah. Once again, I think at the start of the server, he does have good fleet management skills. He does. The guild management skills is supposed to be higher. I apologize. I would say that's actually maybe the highest of the group at a 6. So he would be tougher to start on, but he would be a good fight, and in the end up either pacting with you, becoming when you had the 100 guild members limit, he would just become part of your guild. So if I had to choose, one of the other people, then I would not, I would take them over him.
Yeah, I think that's fine. He's not out of control, but usually greatness doesn't happen.
And so, Traveler, if you're listening to this, like I said, I respect you a lot. I enjoy playing with you. You have the lowest number on would you ever start on them. So that just means I respect you enough to give you a low number.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll move on down to the next person on the list, which I think people might be disappointed this wasn't on the top of the list. But number 6 on your GM non-favorite list, Soijuga, ASAE, all servers, Astro Empire's legend himself. So I'll just let you go in on him.
Sure. I mean, Sui, right? I mean, what can you say? I think I'll just start with a quote because it really fits him. And on every forum, there's always something about Sui talking about how his guild wins, how they're the best, how they're the great in tech, how they outlast everyone, and that is why they are the best guild in every single server. So, famous quote: "We will outlast you. Servers won. Every server that is dead." I think that's it, right? If the ASAE is not top in that server, then in Sui's logic, I don't think that server's dead yet.
Correct.
Guild management, fleet management. I mean, zeros, of course. I have never been in his guild. I can't say. Any ASAE watching this, please, if you enjoy being in the guild, start talking in the chat about how great Sui is. Please.
See, now, first of all, like many other names on this list, I consider Sui a friend. I like him. He's nice. And believe it or not, when someone hits one of his guildmates in ASAE, he usually comes and blows up the occupying fleet. He knows how to use his fleet. He just doesn't. It's like with great power comes great responsibility. He only uses it for retribution on his guildmates. He's a great protector, but would never warmonger his own people.
I see. And I think that is a good way to describe him. You're right. He's more of a protector, right? He won't put down the people that disobey him, right? and he won't give the
He'll put down
guidance.
people that disobey him.
Ooh,
Yeah, if you are in ASCE, like at the start of a server, and you potentially speak out against their very turtly ways, you will be removed from the guild.
ooh, nice.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, he lays down the law.
See, I'm learning new things. I'm learning new things.
You think he's laid back? Oh no, it's very strict. The rule set.
So Sui and Baylor, basically the same idea, same person, I think. Yep, that's
Same
you guys.
as Baylor.
You heard it first here on the ANN that Sui is Baylor's multi. There we go.
If we need to say it, it must be said. Also, would you ever start on Sui? How did he get a 6 out of all the numbers? I would think of him as a terrible person to start on because he'd be over turtled and no profit.
You're right. At first, this 6, I think I was thinking too short term, that maybe for the first week it would be fun, and then after that he would become irrelevant, right? You wouldn't be able to hit him. He would be a turtle. So, looking back on that number now, I think you're right. I think I would want to go lower, But first week, Sui, put 2 bases in my galaxy, put the rest somewhere else, and then so we can perma-occupy you,
Yeah, but he fights back, man. He fights back. I'm a Sui Juga apologist. But yeah, I think overall the numbers might be accurate because there is no fleet management in the guild. I haven't seen an ASAE go to war yet. Not yet.
Hey, this could be the new server. Sui, if you're listening, I think he actually says he'll never be on this show. Right?
Oh, no. I've messaged him. I'll try to get him on. He's just busy on Sundays, so he can't ever be on live. I just need to work with him to get him on. I can record something with him. He doesn't hate the ANN. Absolutely not. To say that he hates Astro is preposterous.
Okay, good. I hope he's watching. I think you would make everybody's day, Sui, if you put up a launch table to somebody. That would be amazing, right? People put out likes. Make it happen, guys. If we give him enough likes, maybe Sui will post a table.
And not even just likes. The more subscriptions to Twitch you give, that'll really rile him up. So
there we go.
More Twitch. The more you subscribe to me on Twitch, that'll make him get on the show. I'm sure of it. It's a guarantee. But I think we've talked enough about Sui, and there's one final name on your list that caught me by surprise. But I will let you go off on him. There's 3 letters here. Zahaga doesn't know who he is. DPS.
Yeah, so out of my players, they know that I have a list of people that I will never work with. Just players that drive me nuts. And so I thought I would include the guy number 1 on that list, DPS. You are the winner of Belwar's least favorite players, just because I have no idea what is going on in your head. Like, I've been in multiple guilds run by you just randomly, and you accept me, so thank you for that. But guild management, things are posted all the time, a million announcements, fleet movements, always wanting to do chats over the voice.
He loves what DPS does love voice chats. He does love them
instead of text. And I'm just like, well, if we do it over voice, how am I going to go back and look and see what you said, right?
See, but here's the thing: you can't get screwed over and screenshotted in a voice chat. I've learned this over the years.
That is true. DPS, that is a good strat right there. I'll give you props for it. But I think that maybe ties into the famous quote, right? For DPS, anyone better than him is a multi, right? No matter what server it is, he doesn't multi. Everyone else multis. It's him versus the world. And
I want to talk about how you gave him a 10 on the would you start on. DPS is a super try hard to start on. He was like one of like the top players in the last mini server start. He tries hard, tries super hard on those. I think that would be a terrible idea. On Nexus, I think he beat Detroit Fans Group in the contested start there.
I think I would. Well, I gave him a 10, like I said, or because I respect him as a player, and I would love to start and hit him. Like, I'd have so much fun just hitting his bases. I don't care about profit. I think he would hit my bases. I would hit his bases. I think we would have a fun time, right? And I mean, that tie, like you said it, he's good at hitting things. He's good at moving his fleet. Him personally, I gave him a 9 out of 10 on fleet management. Good job. But for guild, like I said, chaos. I don't know who's ever been in his guild before, but like I said, maybe it's me. I just could not follow a thing of what was going on. So I gave him, I'm sorry to say, a 2 on guild management skills.
Yeah. I mean, this is just, I will say, an opinion of Belwar, not the entire Astro News Network.
Yes,
I mean,
please.
You might be the first person on the planet to ever say that DPS speaks chaotically. I've never heard anything like that at all. But I haven't been in his guild either. I cannot speak to any of these numbers. But I can understand why someone might not be a fan of him. He likes to talk about how he does have a lot of haters who are also cheaters.
Yeah, and the servers won for DPS, honestly, I have no idea. So if you've won a server, I'm sorry. I just put 0. So
I don't believe DPS has won a server, but he's doing all right on Nexus so far.
I did hear that great crash recently on your last Sunday, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
So DPS, I enjoy playing against you. I don't enjoy playing with you. You're a good player, but our styles of GMs, our GMing is just different. That's what it comes down to. So take no offense from this. This is just the honest opinion of Belwar Disenculp, as well as all of my misfits.
All of your misfits. All right, well, I think that rounds up our list. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today before I give you the old boot?
No, I think I took up a lot of your time. I gave all these unpopular opinions. People might take it the wrong way, but like I said, please post, someone else that you just enjoy playing and starting on each server. Everyone take it with a grain of salt. Don't read into this. We all are a community, right? We need each other, and there's not many people playing anymore, right? So just have some fun, blow off some steam, be honest.
Yeah, all the community needs to be nicer to each other and just make lists about who the worst GMs are. I agree, Belwar. I think this was a great step forward.
Yeah, now the way you rephrased that, it sounds like I went the wrong way on this.
But you made your decision. There's too late. This has been permanently recorded forever. But I do want to thank you so much for coming on, Belwar, and have a good weekend. And
thanks.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up our Belwar time. Goodbye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
All right, my dudes. All right, guys. That might be the end of the news. Those were our 2 big interviews today. I hope you enjoyed Belwar saying that other GMs are worse than him. I'm glad we all had fun with that. Sorry, Megadeth, you didn't make the list. Very sorry. Ahsoka from, I guess, ASAE. I'm glad there is an ASAE representative at least watching the show. One day I'm going to get Suey on. I really want him. I like Suey. We'll get him on. But I'd like to once again thank everyone for tuning in to the Astro News Network. Thanks to you everyone that followed and to subscribe throughout. Every little bit helps. I got a baby sleeping on my lap now. He did not want to be on the news. He was pissed off like the entire time these interviews are going on. But if you have something Astro Empires that you want to come on and talk about, go ahead, reach out to me. You don't have to be a guild leader or some kind of Astro famous person. The NN does not discriminate based on your rank or whether you're a dragon or not. I also want to put out a friendly reminder that I'm still looking for the cool account for firsts on the server. So please PM me what you think your in-game firsts are. If you got base 15, something ridiculous like that, let me know. And while it is public knowledge that I am an OPA, I will ask that if you do have a secret scoop, I can be surprisingly discreet about your op. So if you're planning something and you want to talk about the aftermath on the news, I'll make sure to get you on to get some time and talk about it. Oh yeah, and don't forget to check out astroempires.today for they say they'll be doing news. They haven't done some in a while, but they might again. You gotta keep checking it out. They're our sister station unofficially. We're all the news. We're all friends together. But if you want to ever try to come on the news, you have something you want to talk about, you can always message me in-game on Discord, Twitch, wherever you can find me if you're interested. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next week with mostly live interviews, because I won't be watching the baby. But thanks, guys. See you later.